more smooth now, because I'm very happy to welcome the next two speakers, they're Toronto-based, Andrés Sierra and Brett Allen. Hi, Brett and Andrés. Hi. Andres and Brett are two of the four founders of Club Quarantine. As part of the lockdown, all over the world, bars and clubs have been closed for months, and probably it will take a while before they open. It's difficult for a lot of people, but maybe even more for the queer community, for whom these are safe spaces where they can connect with others. Andres and Brett, it's so nice to have you here. If you're
It's our
ready,
pleasure to be here. Thank you.
great. If you're ready, I think we should just start with your presentation.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
let's do it.
Let's see where. Wait, where do I see it? Oh, okay, here. I think I see it. Okay. Wow, I'm so nervous. Okay, cute. So, yeah. Hi, I'm Andres Sierra. Pronouns are she, they. Um, and this is actually a screenshot from our first ever party, which was just a kiki on Instagram chat.
Few more friends to come kiki with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a screenshot from our first ever party on Zoom, and it was like the grid mode, and we're discovering the virtual backgrounds and the filters that you could use, and the fact that we could see everybody in one space was just like epic and everything.
We started to notice traction on our Instagram that we built. At first, it kind of started off as like kind of a humorous moment, and we started to notice that more and more people wanted to be a part of it, and it started to grow really fast, really quickly, and we started to realize that this is a little bigger than we thought.
Um, we started getting some local press talking about us, how this thing was happening on Zoom, and how people were clubbing online, and we were like, "Whoa, this is an actual moment."
One of our first moments, actually in the first week, was when Charlie XDX's team contacted us, and it was the first time kind of like big players started to notice us, and we realized that this is slightly bigger outside of just the Toronto local queer scene. So that was very exciting to experience.
Then we had even more press, and basically it was just kind of hitting on how queer nightlife is so important, and that with these places shut down, this has sort of kind of become our savior.
Yeah, absolutely. We started to realize that this went farther than just the COVID quarantine topic. That this was actually a place for people who were not able to go to clubs before. It was a place for them to go to.
Y'all have no idea how much I love Club Q. I'm sure this is all affecting everyone differently, but it is affecting everyone. And I don't know, in the morning, I just cried because of all the anxiety related to what's happening in the world. So this platform really helps me forget about what's happening in the world. I love you guys.
But I have a delay on my computer, so I don't know. But this is Club Q as it appears now in today's world. We have 65,000 followers, and it has become a staple in the queer community.
Work. And we are always uplifting local queer scenes from all around the world. This is a night that we had Half Moon Brooklyn, which is a queer POC collective from New York. And
this was another example of what we do. This is a paper night. Another example of uplifting queer up-and-coming talent with someone like Pablo Vittar. It's what we strive to do. This is a paper night that is also a partnership that we do with Paper Magazine. And yeah, it's what we do.
And then this was our first ever like formal throwing a party in a different time zone, where we threw a party in collaboration with a queer South Korean collective called Shade Soul. And that was really fun to connect with people so far.
We realized soon that outside of the queer community, people really wanted to partake in this experience because it is truly an authentic queer experience outside of the way we've seen it before portrayed on television and through a queer lens, for example.
Mm-hmm. We put this in here because up until now, pretty much, queerness has been fed through the heteronormative lens. And Club Q, we do not hide who we are. We do not filter our queerness. It's full-fledged queerness.
Up until this point, it's mostly been queer spaces that either queer people have been able to express themselves fully, or people outside the community have been able to see the queer experience in some light, i.e. clubs, but we don't have those anymore because condos. But Club Q will serve you realness. It'll serve you full queer experience. Go off.
Yes.
Grinding. You'll see. Oh, gets grimy. It's fully queer. It's a full collective of the full spectrum of LGBT community. You see every aspect of it. We don't hide. And something that, if you aren't queer, you can also enter, but you will get the full queer experience. Respect it, and we'll respect you. Also, if you're an essential worker,
we love when our essential workers, when people from all over doing anything are tuning in into our space. It's just really nice to kind of provide that for people who are working at the front lines.
So in 2020, this is Club Q. This is our new logo. This is who we are now. It's a full spectrum of queerness. It is a club space in the current state of the world. And it is something that we thrive to create now, and hopefully will turn into something as the world turns into whatever it does. And that's us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That went a lot faster than I thought.
I know. I was like, ooh, I went back to high school. I was so nervous.
Yeah, this time pressure is it's a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good for us. It's good for us because we're two of the longest talkers ever. We could be here for 3 hours happily, but it's good.
I was wondering, are there any things that you do to make sure to make the club the club is a safe space?
Yes.
So maybe
yes,
you
of course. We are working around the clock, especially when the party's happening. We have our moderators and we have our hosts who are taking care of the space. And, we have things that we've been able to implement to be able to protect that. But what's really cool to see is just kind of how it doesn't affect us as a community, as a party goers. It's just like a blip, and we're like, okay, now that that's over, let's move on and get back to the party, right? So
because did you had to deal with trolls or Zoom bombing or stuff like that?
We've experienced it all because it's a new medium, and we're learning the medium as we go. It's like all the things that we've figured out how to protect this space, we've learned through trial and error. We've learned it because it has happened to us. So everything you can imagine people would say if they hated queers and were in a queer space, they have said to us. But it's something like Andrés said, it's our main priority to protect the space, and it's our job. And just through representation too of who we put on, right? And we make sure that this space is inclusive to all members of the community, so they feel safe, and it's not just a white, gay space.
Yeah. A question by someone from our audience, Domo FOMO. How do you see the future post-pandemic for digital queer parties?
Oh,
big question.
So post-pandemic, we're talking about now we're back in the physical real life space. And so with that being said, we would still maintain the virtual aspect of it. Like in our slide, we hit on the fact that there's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to go to the physical space in real life. We can't sever that connection anymore, which is a connection that was formed because of this happened. It's kind of wild to think that it's never been on anyone's radar to make nightlife accessible like that. And so that's something that we must preserve as we kind of go into this post-quarantine moment, and we're back in the real space. Yeah.
Last question: from Arjen? How do you do this technically? Do you still use Zoom for the parties?
Yeah, Zoom's our girl. Zoom is basically the best thing we have at our disposal right now. it's the only model that allows for 1,000 people to enter.
Wow.
So
and for 1,000 people to be seen, that's
be
also
seen.
the beauty of it.
To be spotlighted, to be, because the whole point of it is that you're not just a viewer and we are the performers. It is like you are a part of it. Everyone is equal. So to have a number like 1,000 people be able to equally partake in the space is ideal, and is kind of our main priority, our main objective. So Zoom again is the best we have at this moment. We don't know what tech will look like. We don't know the future, but right now it's what we have.
Okay.
Although we would like to have our own platform, it'll be nice.
All right, budget. All right, budget.
That would be a good plan.
Yeah, I would also like to get paid one day, but step by step, Andrés. Let's keep the dream achievable.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
So much.
Bye.
Have a night. Bye.